and sisters, I'm happy to be here. I'm thankful to be here. As we concentrate on what our goal is. I appreciate the show last night. I think it was a success. I think the participation was good, and we have to be cognizant, and I certainly am cognizant that everybody has an opinion. Everybody has it, and if people want the truth, they're able to pull the truth up. So I'm not in the habit of displaying anything, because I don't personally, if a person has a goal, if they have a personal goal, I don't think there's anything that you could tell them to change their mind or with whatever they see. So I've just been raised where you're properly raised, that you don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to defend anything. The information is out there. They pulled it up. They refuse to go and download the degrees. And if anybody goes on the site for my MPI or my license, they'll be able to go on. They should see the certifications and all of that. And here's the fact. The fact is that you can't get an NPI if you don't follow the rules of submitting your education. You can't. So that's how they do it with anything concerning medical. There's always been that way, or clinical education. It's always been that way. Always been that way. It'll never change. It'll never change. So I don't have anything to prove. I don't have an opinion toward that. I don't have anything to prove because the information is there. My license is out there. The category of license is out there as it relates to an MPI. So I just want to say that. It's a single thing that I want to say. I don't want it to distract us. We've said enough about it already, right? Those who want the truth will get the truth, and if they don't want the truth, they won't get it. Our show tonight, though, again, is a very special show. So where we cut off from, we want to take it up from there. And as usual, I welcome all naysayers, right? I welcome it. I welcome thumbs downs and thumbs up. I welcome it all. I'm not going to retract anyone's word or anything like that. You know how I roll. I'll let it stand. And today, I was able to transfer some coming shows. I put it on my page. Because it's doing a great job for me to get attention toward my site. So I'm thankful for that. And don't forget to thumbs up, like, and subscribe, brothers and sisters. Don't forget, because we're going to talk about this truth, and we're not going to be distracted from our goal. And our goal today, brothers and sisters, our goal is to establish a black defense league, or African American defense league is already established, but we need a united black defense league. And we need people to be educated and to be armed in their communities. And I'm telling you why. Because we're in danger, and we have black people who will do anything, will compromise their community in any way, shape, or form. Will compromise it. If they're not sincere, I'm not saying. I'm pointing out what I know on here. Peace be unto you, Brother Bruce. Peace be unto you. Thank you for showing up. I think that if they're not sincere, they'll do anything. And we can't be reckless, brothers and sisters. We can't be reckless, but we have to point out truths. And there are certain things that we can't allow to pass through the black community. We can't do it. And I'm not talking about things that we make up, because anybody can make up anything. Not what we make up, but what is actual truth, brothers and sisters. You don't have to ever worry about going out to find this or find that or get information to use it against one another. If you're paying attention to algorithm and you're paying attention to formula, it will show you weaknesses within the black community. It will show you pitfalls things that are obvious. We see it in hindsight. We see it in hindsight, but it'll show you things that are obvious in our community. So, brothers and sisters, we have to tackle this issue. We don't have a choice. Not out of vindication, not out of being vindictive or anything like that, or seeking revenge. Not that. We have to concentrate on what's going on, because that's what's affecting us. This is affecting our rise. It affects us. So I think, I was raised to believe that all news is good news. If it's something aired towards you, it's good news. And whether it's bad or good, I put it on my page, especially when it's concerning me. Bad or good, I'm going to put it out there, and it gets people to talking about you. So you're able to get some publicity, and I think that's good. I think it can be good. It can be used depending on how you use it. So on this program, we'll speak truth. We don't talk antagonization, but truth. And we line up the calliopes and we give facts, date, and time about what we're saying. Dr. Khalid was the best black nationalist that we had since the time of Minister Malcolm. By far, he was literally the best black nationalist we had. And he was such a good brother. And I can say this because at 12 years of age, I came to the nation with him and was put on the David X. There was no other mosque around in that area, in West Helena, in between West Helena and Tunica, Mississippi. So he got me to that mosque, and I got to that mosque and met just awesome amount of people on those days. I write about it too. Just really, really awesome. Brothers and sisters that were concerned about the black community. They weren't creating these penny arguments back and forth, or putting individuals in situations or anything like that. It was powerful. It was powerful. Peace, Brother Darrell Harris. Peace, brother. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for being with us. It was powerful because they were concerned about building up the black community. And as black people, we're able to correct one another. We have to. None of us are beyond reproach. I'm not beyond it either. I'm not beyond reproach. Nobody is beyond reproach. Farrakhan is not beyond reproach. They haven't stopped me. The only thing they did was put fuel in this machine to keep it moving. To talk about the purpose why we're here. We have to set up defense teams in the black community. Why? Because we are under duress. We are under threat. We're being killed. Our leaders are being killed. This is a fact. And when all of this foolishness is done, we're still going to be killed. They are killing us in our community. Look, they killed Breonna Taylor. In her bedroom, she was sleeping. George Floyd was killed in broad daylight before us, and it seems that black people still don't get it. Still don't get it. Still playing games. And this is serious business. We are being killed, brothers and sisters. And we have some black people that are involved in it. The white man, the best hands he could use is black hands when he got a white mind. If you got a black hand and a white mind, the white man will use you to destroy anything. He'll use you to try to stop the movement. The white man will do that, brothers and sisters. This is a fact. We've seen it all down through history. We have seen this. And its entire purpose is to discourage us. Is to discourage us. We can't be discouraged by antics. Can't be discouraged by it. We got to push. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and thumbs up, brothers and sisters. Because we certainly need it. We certainly need it for this show. And we can't allow them to stop us. See, all of it is the white man. You might see black hands, but it's all the white man. I don't lose focus. Can't make lose focus because I already know. That the man is behind anything. But how many people know that if God is with you, that if God is with you, that you're able to go forward without any problem. If God is with you, right? If we are practicing, when I say God, brothers and sisters, look in the mirror. If we're united on a common goal, that is the Spirit of God. All of us are part of the Messianic promise. Every last one of us. Every last one of us. There are no exceptions. There's no exception. All of us belong to God. All of us have to fulfill the will of God. There's no exception. I'm no great person or anything like that. No greater than anyone else. I can't do anything without your spirit and your approval. Can't do it. You can't do it, brothers and sisters. There's no way it can be done. And we need help in this fight. We need help in this fight to fight for our people. We need help. I wouldn't waste my time unless I knew it was going against the black community. I wouldn't waste my time trying to drag somebody down. I don't have time for that, brothers and sisters. I don't have time for that. Our people are being killed. That's my momentum. And we have to discuss these things. We have to. We have no choice. We have no choice but to discuss this thing. I ain't gotten a call from the brother Taharka tonight to come on the show again. And I'm thinking about it. You know, I think that even though the angle is negative, right? The angle, I feel, let me say that, I feel the angle is negative. I think it's destructive, but at the same time, it's a very good and fun show. I think it is. I think it is. I think he has great humor. Just me personally. I think he has great humor. You know, I think it's reckless. The white people have Jerry Springer, right? The white people have Jerry Springer. Why can't we have Taharka Bey? I mean, I love the brother. I love the brother. I love him. I love black people. I love black people. I don't have a problem with it. So, brothers and sisters, our show today, peace be unto you, brother Italman. Idel Iman. Peace be unto you, brother. Peace be unto you, brother Landmore. I'm considering it. I'm considering it. Wallace Muhammad, our brother Ital Iman said, Wallace Muhammad in his book spoke of Dr. Farrakhan saying NOI had only 60 symbolic years. Their time was up in 1990. See as the light shineth from the east, so Farrakhan is obsolete. Brother, and it's a fact. Look, what we need to understand is that there was a breakup. There was a breakup in the Muslim movement caused by the government. Caused by the government. There was a breakup. We can't deny it. We can't walk away from it. We can't deny it. Look, Wallace Waradeen Muhammad would take part of the nation. Then Farrakhan would take the other part. One would go, and what they did was, if you look at the math of it, if you look really pay attention to what's going on, what they did was they said, we're going to split this up. We don't know how the black people are going to react. Right? Just like when the brothers were shooting Minister Malcolm. Just like when the brothers was shooting Minister Malcolm. Listen to this. And when the brothers was shooting Minister Malcolm, they were shooting with blanks at close range. Understand this, the government didn't even respect them enough to put actual bullets in the weapon. They didn't even respect him enough to put actual bullets in the weapon. Didn't even respect him enough to do that. They killed him along with assassins from the scaffold that was above Minister Malcolm. Okay, so you gotta pay close attention to that. They didn't know which way the people were gonna go, but they helped fan the flames of the climate that had been lit. They helped fan the flames, and in fanning these flames, they were able to articulate right through blueprint, right? Because remember, they did a dry run before that. The feelings of the nation. They had the climate would explain what some were going to do and what the others were going to do. So I want to say this, that it was a win situation to split up the nation and have one go one way, one go the other way. Because both organizations were going to misteach or miseducate the people. Isn't that right? And so, but the massive amount of people around that time had went to silence Muhammad. Why is that? Because he was still holding the old Elijah Muhammad mosque in perfect perpendicular. He was holding them as they should have been held, teaching the knowledge like it should have been taught. The white man was still described as the devil. He's still described as the devil. And if you can describe the white man as the devil, then you can see all of his evil acts. But you can't come to me telling me that the white man's the devil one minute, then he's not devil the next minute, because it confuses me. And then you'll look at this. Check this out. You'll understand that if we all have the same notion that the white man is evil and he's working against us, then we'll remember being caught as slaves. We'll remember the Platonic War. We'll remember being chained to boats and brought here, right? We'll remember being enslaved, being in oppression, being emancipated, being segregated, being integrated, then being socialized. We will remember that. And that's the whole point of Muhammad's teaching, so that we could what? Do for self. We could do for ourselves. We wouldn't need the white man's help. We could do for ourselves. Our brother Larry said, go on the show, brother. I'm thinking about it, brother. He said, don't let them create narrative, unjust, and false identity on you, brother. And the brother said, cuz what do it matter if you got a degree or not? This ain't the purpose of our people at heart of this. That's true. That's true. That's true. But they have the NPI. I mean, I'm thinking about going on there, but let me explain this. I'll say this. And I appreciate you making the statements, because I've been considering it. Because in my opinion, it still kills what they do. I went on the show expecting that, but it still kills any negative to me, anything negative. So if I have the time, I'm going to go on. But when you pull up an NPI, I just want to say this again, because this is very plain, and anybody in the clinical medical field knows it, right? Anybody that believes in what they're doing, not just working a job, but are honest with themselves, that if you have, and I have it, but I'm not gonna. I don't feel. First of all, I'm not on this show as a clinician. I'm on this show as a speaker, right? I'm on this show as a historian, you know, and doing the best to put out the knowledge, the religious and political leadership to put out the knowledge for black people. So let me just say that. But also, if you put the NPI and type my name in, it should bring everything out. We have to upload the degrees. We have to upload the certification in order to get an NPI. You can't get it any other way. You got to do it the right way, right? As far as I know, I don't know any other way. So, you know, I'll consider it. I'll consider it, but I still consider last night a great show. I consider it a win, right? I consider that because we dealt with it, and you know that was that. So hey, I may just do it. I may just do it. It's been fun. If anything else, it's been fun. So I may just do it. May just do it. You never know. So we just have to wait and see. So but our intentions is to point out how the white man is using black hands to destroy our people. Now, Steve Coakley points out in no uncertain terms how Farrakhan is involved in this. He points out how he doesn't get any visitation from Dr. Khalid. He always pointed out when we were around that Dr. Khalid didn't receive any visitation. I used to always ask about it, but it bothered Dr. Khalid. And I'm sure he was going through his own emotions too. The brother was human. He was human. I'm sure it hurt him to be shot, not get a visitation from Minister Farrakhan. Farrakhan didn't even send a letter. He didn't even send nobody by. He didn't even send anybody by to visit Dr. Khalid. Dr. Khalid laid in the hospital. They said he only got certain flesh wound, that's what the media said. But actually, they shot Dr. Khalid all down the right side of his body. He was shot. And in my estimation, and I told Steve the same thing, I believe that Best wasn't the only shooter. I don't think he was the only shooter because, and I think there was a point man sitting far off because they changed the direction. You know, once the shooting happened, the direction was changed. Now, and this is very important, that when they shoot Dr. Khalid, the direction of it is changed. The brothers catch James Best. They catch James Best, brothers and sisters, and when they catch him, they're stumping the hell out of him. They are these brothers like, no, this ain't happening again on our watch. You know, you could tell that it was the same feeling as when Minister Malcolm was shot. I mean, the same consensus. If you look, the very same consensus. Now, this guy James Best, let's talk about him. He was in the nation in 1959 to 1995. Because after that, Farrakhan ousted him indefinitely. He had ousted him before for, quote unquote, teaching a strange doctrine of the Nation of Islam. But after that, he ousted him. Now this guy Best is very strange because he shot his own brother, his blood brother. He shot him. He shot his brother, didn't do any time in jail. He was beating black people, making them buy Muhammad Speak newspaper, didn't do any time in jail. When he shot Dr. Khalid Muhammad, didn't do any time in jail. He was noted as one of the individuals that were flown from California all the way to New York, from the West Coast to the East Coast, after the killing of Minister Malcolm X. After the killing, he didn't do any time. None whatsoever. His name is not even brought up. There was information that wasn't even used. Brothers and sisters, so we have to pay attention to this, because when our leaders, they'll get all of our leaders. The white man, he only cares about himself. He'll get the leaders. He'll get the people that are used to kill the leaders. And if you look, all of them went to jail. He took all of their lives, right? Because if you say he's serving life in prison, indefinite, and also serving and may get killed by taking his life. All of it is the white man. He's in control of the system, right? That's what Dr. Khalid meant when he said, if you say it's not the white man, it's the system, you sound like a fool. He said you sound like a fool. He said it's like saying it's the spider web. It's not the spider, right? Is that what Dr. Khalid said? So he said, you know, if you tear down that web, and this is symbolic to the system, if you tear it down, the white spider will weave another white web. He will weave another white web. And he said you have to get the spider. You have to get the spider. We don't have to worry about the system. We've got to get the one in charge of the system. You know, and when you think about these things, you know, how black hands are being used, right, to assassinate our leaders, assassinators, to assassinate common folk too. Black hands are being used, right? But not as much as white hands are being used at this point for mass killing. Because if you tell me, well, you know, black people have a lot of killing in their community, I could show you the stats where white people have killed more of their own people than black people have killed of their own people. These are actual facts. But the media will exploit us in whatever domestic situation we're in. They will exploit us, but they don't exploit the whites like that. And the reason is because the white man controls the system. He's a part of the system, from the wealthiest white man to the lowest, dirtiest white man. He's a part of the system. He has a privilege in the system. We have to know that. He has privilege, white privilege. And white privilege is connected to racism. White privilege is connected to racism. Remember what I said? That the white man is not going to put anybody before you. You'll be wondering how did this person get here? How was they able to obtain this position? I've been doing this for several years. How could they do it? That's what they'll say. If you look, no matter what the profession is, you'll see somebody there, and it's like it's almost impossible. How did they make it? How did this happen? Because he'll never put anyone in front of you, never, without exception, that will genuinely help you or genuinely help black people. He'll never do it. He'll never do it. They will. He uses them to cause distrust in the black community. He uses them to rip people down. He uses them to block the destiny of the black community as it relates to liberation. He uses them to do that. You got to understand that we have no alternative. We have no say in the black leaders that are put before us. We have no say. And when we talk about liberation and revolution, our whole purpose in liberation and revolution is to do what? Is to exchange the power, right? We have a regime change, and that's happening because the white people are dying out. They're dying out. So that regime change is happening whether we like it or not. And all of those that think that you can keep cooning or doing what these white folks say, right, and following their plan, right, then you'll lose out. You'll miss out, because our job right now is to take over this system that is slipping. It's slipping through the white man's hand. That's our problem. It's to take over the system which is slipping through our hands. Our brother Ital Ivan says, Mauricelm-Lei TV is a gatekeeper, a reality TV show designed to filter out truth. Only ignorant controversy is allowed. Mauricelm-Lei TV's job is to create discord amongst people who can make a change. It's a subtle entity. That's true. I agree with that. But I agree with that, brother. I agree with that. But God will still use it to do good. And God, Satan may have plans, right? But God is the best planner. Isn't that right? Right? The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that Satan has his plans, but Allah is the best of planners. So I believe, brother, and I mean, call me naive. Call me naive. I believe that we don't have to defend ourselves. We don't have to. If you're serious, if you're honest, if you are truly fighting for the people, you're not going to waste your time. And you're not going to be afraid. You're not going to waste your time or be afraid. You're not going to, you about ready, sister? You about ready? You're not going to waste your time. All right, sister. You're not going to waste your time. You're not going to be afraid. You're not going to concentrate on that, because our vision is bigger than that. Our vision is bigger than that. But is it a distraction? Of course it is. I mean, I would say that if the purpose isn't right, it is. Because, listen to this, and I want to say this in all honesty. Just hear what I'm saying, brothers and sisters. If a black man, and that's why I never bring it up. I would never attack anyone, because I don't believe in that. So I'll just use a black man. I'll say this term for black as a black man. If a black man is accused of rape on any level, and the white man is accusing him of rape, we have to in ourselves question that white authority, because we know anything bad the white man he's gonna blame us for. Isn't that right? If it's bad, the white man is gonna blame us. I would never. I've seen people disrespect that brother, talking about his personal life. I've seen him do it. I've seen him do that to other people, right? And on occasions that I agree, because I'm not talking about their personal life, but if you're working against the movement, I don't like that. I don't like black people doing anything that's going to stagnate black people, stagnate progress, or is going to distort what we have to do. Our people are being killed. Our people are being killed. I can't say that enough. We don't know. We don't know when our day will be. We don't know. We don't know. These white police are going crazy, and we got to tell our people to get armed, and we got to tell them to stand in righteousness, right? Because our people are being killed, so we need to shoot back, and we don't have to be united for that. And the brother Italian Ivan said, Morris World TV is a gatekeeper, a reality TV show designed to filter out truth, right? Only ignorant controversy is allowed, right? Morris World TV job is to create discord among a people who can make change. That's true. It seems true to me. Now, have there been agents to come through? Yes. Yes, there have been, brothers and sisters. I will not tell you there hasn't been. There have been, but to mark everybody that way is the problem. And to purposely distort truth. Purposely distort truth. I have questions about many things. I was there with Dr. Khalid. I was there, so I have questions. This brother that he brought on, you know, I came, Dr. Khalid took me to the mosque in Tunica. It was the nearest mosque there. When I was 12 years old, coming up in a minister's family, right? You're going to be attached to church. You're going to be attached to leadership. Yeah. And I was guided by my grandfather. I was guided by my grandfather. So these Black Baptist leaders brought Dr. Khalid in to teach, and they loved what he's teaching. So did I. So I asked my grandfather, I said, this is where I want to go. This is what I want to do. And he blessed me in that, and he took me back and forth there himself. And he supported me. And he was a Black Baptist pastor that was open-minded. I thank God for him, that supported me and attended those meetings with me. So, you know, that says a whole lot. Now, because Dr. Khalid was under Minister Farrakhan, when I followed him, right, then I submitted to those rules as well. I submitted to those rules. I was being respectful. When he changed your course, I was no longer at that temple, so then I joined another temple. When I came in, I attended. When I came in, I attended. But I saw a lot of things, right, through the eyes of Dr. Khalid, who gave me understanding. He himself was a Muslim. He said there's no division among Muslims. He said there's no division. I agree. We look crazy as black people dividing ourselves one from the other. We look crazy. We look crazy not pointing out our differences. Because it's only the only way that we can unite is that we point out our differences and say, hey, I don't like this. This happened. We need an explanation on it. That's all I'm saying. And I'm talking about some real stuff. I'm not talking about anything to take us off the mark. I'm talking about some real stuff. Father John said, you did not conduct yourself on Morris World TV like Dr. Khalid would have conducted himself, especially by exiting abruptly and blaming your queen. I didn't blame my queen. I want to say that because a lot of the people that are on this show, and I don't mind saying it, I welcome all comments. And I appreciate your upgrading, sir. People on the show know that Sunday mornings, I don't pretend. Sunday mornings as well as during the week, I'm working hard, but especially on Sundays, I do our teaching, and then I also go to a Christian church where I teach there. I teach there, and I teach also our teaching, right, for the Muhammad Study Group. So I do those things, and I do it every Sunday. The sister had already told me that she wanted time. Brother, I don't know if you're married. I don't know if you're married, but if you are married, your first duty is to your sister. Now, I told him the very same thing. He already knows it. He knew. But it was just to keep up controversy, and he was helping to keep the controversy going, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, I had nothing to prove. And if my wife, right, desire time with me, I'm going to do what's best for her. I'm going to do that because I'm with her. At the end of the day, I'm going to be with her. So that's only right for me to do as a Muslim. I did conduct myself as a Muslim because as a Muslim, I wouldn't be putting out my information on the web like that. That's why I say it's suspect to me that the brother will go as far to show his degrees or whatever. I don't have an opinion about his degrees, but when I'm on here doing this show, I'm not on this show doing the show as a clinician. It's not only unethical, but it's also, this is my job. I'm not going to loosely display what I have to do. I'm not going to do that. I have books and research for that. Okay? And I know this profession. So nobody can tell me this profession. I don't know anybody that would destroy the way they make their money, right, by involving their professional side into what is religious and political for black people. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Father John, respectfully, I appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much for being open and honest. Mac John said, I got to ask your opinion. Is religion keeping us together or dividing us, or does it go beyond religion? Our division goes beyond religion. Spirituality brings us together, Brother Mac Dunn, and thank you for coming on the show. Father John, I appreciate you for coming on the show, brother. But spirituality unites us, and that's us being spiritual means having the same goal in mind, right? Panoramic goal. So when you say Pan-Africanism, that is the spiritual response to racism through the actions of black nationalism. So on a global scale, all of us fighting the white man to achieve our own liberation is spiritual. And we have to have the same motive in mind. The same motive in mind. Right? You ever heard this term? And my grandmother used to say it all the time. She said the truth, it weighs in tons. A lie is weighed in pounds and ounces. And they said, she would say, the bigger the lie, the higher it'll float, the faster it'll go. That's what he said. That's what she said. So you don't have to worry about the truth, because eventually it's going to come. The truth will come. So not a manipulated truth, right? A half truth, right? Not provocateur or anything like that, but the pure truth. And if we seek understanding spiritually, then we'll all come together. Our brother Bruce Karim disrespectfully, Morris World TV advertised a show that would discuss situations leading to Khalid's death. Instead, we're entertained by a biased host and a third-rate pseudo-educator. It's the truth. And that was the only way that he could get people to come on. Because, and I'll tell you this too, brothers and sisters, and the sister know this, and I'm going to allow her to come on too in a little bit to give us some spiritual empowerment and tell us about our program and just pray for us. My sister is powerful, and I enjoy, I thank God a lot for her, brothers and sisters. And what man, when you see how beautiful this sister is, what man wouldn't pay homage? I'm going to pay homage, brothers and sisters. Yeah, I'm going to pay homage because I love this sister. Our brother Mac Dunn says, finding common ground between spiritual ideologies is great for understanding, but ultimately it leads to understanding our differences, and usually those differences stand out more. That's true, brother. And Mac Dunn says, brother Mac Dunn says, like it's hard to change someone's mind that's different, and I think that's ultimately the hardest thing for mankind itself. And that's the truth. And that's the truth. So if people are looking for truth, they can easily accept it. Only deceptive people are malicious to deceive others, or to cause trouble, or to be a provocateur, right? Only deceptive people. And I started to say this, and I want to say this before, just to explain it. You never heard me. I was anxious to explain because I knew why I came on the show, and I was trying to get to that. But you never heard me say for one moment, right? Never heard me use the brother's personal life. Other people like Sarnetta have put up personal things on the brother, just disrespectful pictures, disrespecting him, disrespecting his wife, disrespecting his child. And I don't care how much a person try to disrespect me, I'm not going to follow that lead. You can't trap me like that, because I already know that we're all in the same bag and the same boat. All in the same bag and the same boat. You can't trap me like that. I love brother Tahaka still, as Allah is my witness. I love the brother. You can't trap me like that. Can't do it. But I wouldn't disrespect anyone for saying, well, he's, said what he's known for in his personal life. And I know if the white man blame you for something and you've been under the system, I know they come from the white man, and the white man owns that system, right? And what black person, I want you to look at this, what black person will come, just think about it now, and request, not the truth, because he had already put up the truth, but will come and request for their own personal selves, right? For his own personal self. And I'm sure that's the way it was. Brother Damon was a good brother. I told the sister that, and I stand by it. I never attacked him. He was a good brother. He was being led, and I'm sure a very sincere brother. When I said that the pictures where Dr. Khalid had on the pictures I saw him with Dr. Khalid, he had on the same clothes. It was probably a picture that was taken when he came to speak. I understood the brother to say that he was a part of Dr. Khalid's inner circle. I know that's a lie, and I asked him and I want to question him on it, and I know that's what they told me when they called, brothers. I know it was, but I didn't get a chance to ask that. I didn't get a chance to explain how I had come under Farrakhan's teaching through Dr. Khalid or anything like that, because the whole purpose of that show was, as our brother has told us, is to distort and to misguide the black masses, and we can't allow that to happen. Can't allow that to happen. But I do think the show is humorous. I think it was a success. And you asked me if I go back on. Of course I would. I told the sister, yeah, I would. Of course I would, because I don't take the show seriously. I don't take it seriously, and I know he has an audience. Jerry Springer had an audience. Isn't that right, brothers and sisters? Jerry Springer had an audience, so he has an audience. I just don't know who. I don't know who's financing his show. I don't know. That's a good question, who finances his show. But Jerry Springer had an audience and everything. So, that's just the way it is. But I love the brother, and I wish him protection, peace, and I don't care what he put up. I'm a post whatever he put up on my site. I'm going to post it on my site, because if he's putting it up there, he's helping people to know about me, and then I can get the truth out to them when they want to come hear what I've got to say. And I'm still not going to bite my tongue. I'm going to still speak the truth about what's going on. So, brothers and sisters, if you please, I want to let peace, Shabaka, peace and love. Glad to have you on the show. Father Josh said, when it's time to discuss raising the 85%, making love is secondary. That's correct, brother. You and Brother Damon both seem like good brothers. Oh, yes, he's a good brother. And you heard me say that? And I'll continue to say it. He was a good brother. Anybody could see that Brother Damon was a good brother. Anybody could see that. And they didn't get the expectation they wanted from the show, because they had even tried not to get me to show up. But I kept asking him for the link. He had not sent me the link. And then I asked him, I said, well, can I talk with the brother? Give him my number. He said, I can't give you the number. He called me, left a message. I wish I could show it to you, that I can't give you the number. I don't want no private talk. So, brothers and sisters, we just got to be prayerful to continue to speak spirituality, continue to talk about uniting, and continue to talk about the death that's happening in our community, so we could be helpful to the people in our community. So we could be helpful, right? Because this is this white man's world. We don't have any stock in this world of what's going on. We don't have any stock. We got to create the stock. He's losing power. We got to be ready to receive it. We got to build black businesses. We got to build better religious institutions so we can teach spirituality. We got to build better coalitions to be united, and we've got to have a united black front that is armed, ready to defend our community no matter everywhere that there are black people. That way, when somebody's killed, you don't have to have armies putting themselves in danger, marching into an area and risking the lives of their people. So, brothers and sisters, I'm going to bring the sister on. I want to read what's come here. I want to bring the sister on. I'm glad that Merce World TV has chimed in. I'm so glad that they chimed in. Brother Larry said, hey, that Damon brother ain't got no right to ask you a question. You and who you are and what's your credibility, because we all on social media. Nobody got gotta dig him in about the right that he's talking about. I agree with that, brother. I'm glad Mortual TV is chiming in, brothers and sisters. As you can see, if we stay united, then we'll continue to be encouraged. And he's a good brother. I want Brother Damon to continue on searching for that truth. And I love Brother Tahaka. Brother Tahaka, I love you, brother. And I consider it a great show. And I told you that I will come on the show. I may come on. But I'm happy, brother. And I thank you because there have been some people that asked about the books. So you know I need to sell books, brothers and sisters, because so that we can certainly get these books sold, and we need to support. I'd be lying if I said we didn't. But also the Cash App, and also to like our television, the program that we have on YouTube, so that we can grow the program and put out some real help. Put some real help out to help people and not antagonize people. We're all brothers and sisters. I love Brother Tahaka. I just pray that he get on the right road. But I love him. And I think his show is humorous and all of that. But brothers and sisters, we have our sister here, and I'm waiting to have her to come before us to say something to us. Brothers and sisters, if you please.
Greetings, peace, love, and light to all of you. Woo, woo. I heard the brother say he wanted me to bring something spiritual today. And I'm going to be quite honest. I am not in a spiritual mood. And unlike my husband, y'all think he's a beast, but y'all don't really know me. I know I seem quite innocent, but I'm very angry. And when I send my energy out, I get results. So anybody who decides to be on the opposite side of the line, you better understand you need some spiritual protection right now, because I'm coming for you. And that's where I'm at right now. So I ain't in no peace and love mood. I'm not in no peace and love mood about nothing. Because anybody who tries to put my family in a place of vulnerability to infringe on our safety, I got a problem with you. I got a real problem with you. And I got a real connection with the creative source in God. So you better watch your back. That's where I'm at. And meet Joanna. This is Joanna. This is the real Joanna you probably ain't never seen before, since I know you watching. This is me right now. And this energy you getting right now, you're going to feel it for real. And I ain't got to do nothing with my hands. You better believe that. So when your life start falling apart and it all come crumbling down and stuff start burning up, your houses, your businesses and stuff like that, when you get a wave of hurricane, a wave of fire, that's Joanna. And everybody that stands with her. So be ready for it. Be ready for it. Because don't nobody put my children in danger. I don't care what you want. That's where I'm at. I don't care what my husband's saying. I ain't peace and love. I ain't peace and love right now. And my anger is very spiritual. My anger is very spiritual. I embrace all of myself. I embrace the wrath of God and the love of God. Absolutely. Full of it. I'm full of it. I'm pissed. That's where I'm at. I'm pissed. Because you're talking about the safety of my children. You understand me? I don't take that lightly. I don't play about my kids. I don't play about my family. You asking for information on here. We have to fight for every dollar we get around here. Every dollar we get. We have to fight for it. We only got peace where we at because we're in a predominantly black area where black people are in power positions. And we work to help those folks to get in powerful positions and to keep those powerful positions. So we happen to be in a safe area, and I will be damned If you put my safety, my children's safety in jeopardy and think you ain't gonna get nothing from me, ain't no way. You gonna get it. And you might be laughing now, but you be ready for it. You be ready for it, because I ain't no fake spiritual person. All I gotta do is give back what you done gave. So you have some extra security, brother. That's what I got for y'all today. That's what I got for y'all today. Thanks for watching. I'm going to let Brother Minister come back, because that's what I got for y'all today. I ain't got nothing else. That's what I'm on today. And that's what I'm going to keep being on. Until I know my roots, and my sun, my light, are on one accord and have accomplished what I'm sending my energy out to accomplish. Believe that. Black power.
Brothers and sisters, I'm sure you can understand the sister, because, you know, we've had a lot of attacks against us. So many attacks. I'll never cut out a comment, because I think we need it. And I read these comments because I think it helps us. I think it helps all of us. I'll never cut out a comment, and I believe in the power of God, brothers and sisters. I believe in the power of God, and God will. I'm not speaking no hocus pocus or no spooky stuff. God made us, and He knows our hearts. He knows what our desire is. He knows that, and God will repay. He'll repay, brothers and sisters, when it comes to us. Amongst one another, it's a sin for us to destroy one another physically. The sister says she'll send out spiritual power, the power of God, and that the brother would be judged. Brothers, I believe her, because I read in the Word where God sent out 2 bears, right, to eat children that were mocking the prophet Elijah, calling him bald-headed and telling him to go on up. So, brothers and sisters, God will handle it amongst one another. We don't destroy one another, because that's not the will of God. But we must defend ourselves against the white man who's trying to destroy us physically. That's God's will too, that we will protect one another. That's what we have to do. And it do compromise individuals when you know people are really fighting for the right to exist and fighting for black people, and doing it in the spirit of Dr. Khalid, doing it in the spirit of Minister Malcolm, Sister Betty X. Shabazz, Dr. Martin Luther King, Sister Coretta King, and all of these great people that have come before us. Pastor Samuel Rogers, who was my grandfather, human rights leader for the South. And when somebody will put your life in danger, you got danger from the white man anyway. We got danger from the white man anyway. But when any brother is reckless, any sister as well, that they'll put your address out for one of your businesses, right? Because that was for one of the businesses that is trying to support us, right? One of the businesses, we have to have a actual virtual place, and we have to have an actual satellite place. So you have to have a physical place, and it has to have virtual capability for you to be able to help people. And we see black people for free. We don't charge them, especially if they can't afford it. We still see them. Still see them, even if they can't afford it, brothers and sisters. Whether it be drug, alcohol, mental problems, Tourette syndrome, whatever it may be, we still help them. And you just, anytime that I could be at that site, who knows who will be waiting for me, my wife, or my children, because the brother was so reckless in what he did to have a show. So reckless in what he did to have a show that he literally had my wife in fear and had her on edge. And you know, I know the brother didn't mean it. I don't even think he contemplated that far ahead. I don't believe it, but it still left that much damage and that scar. So I agree with Father Jardo. Brother Damon seemed like a good brother. I agree with that. Taharka, I can only pray that he would be less manipulative. He has to. I sent him. He sent me a text. I said, "Well, let the brother talk to me. Let me talk to the brother." He said, "We go on the show." I said, "I think the show. I think it's good. Whether I go on the show or don't go on the show, I think it's good. I would like to go on the show." I told you all the same thing. And I said, "Well, let me speak with the brother." He said, "No, brother." He said, "We meet only live." That's what he told me. He said, "No, brother, we meet only live." And I wish I had trying to find the phone so I could put that information out and be able to show it to you on the text. And I'm certainly trying to find it. I don't know what I did with it, with my phone. But I will, if I can, when I locate the phone, certainly will do it tomorrow. Sister, see if she can locate it so that I could bring it to you. But I don't know what he's afraid of. I would go on the show. I just wanted to know if the brother was all right so we could go on the show together. And that's all I was going to ask him, if we could go on the show together. That was it. Nothing more than that, because I'm not malicious. I don't have any malicious intentions. I don't. And I believe the brother is just, again, being comical, having fun. But, you got to be mature in some sense to know that black people putting their lives in danger. It's not funny. And if we already got the white man as our enemy, why would you try to turn other black people against us? I don't understand. But he has excellent art. And the way he does the art on the show is amazing. So he get an A for the art. Certainly it goes right along with the title. So our brother Larry said, "Hey, that Damon brother ain't got no right." I think we read that. Morris World TV says you're not being genuine. We all know the difference. That's all right, sister. Is my phone out there, sister? I want to show them the text that Morris World TV had sent me and what I asked him, because I know he's going to spin it. So I definitely want to show that. Brother Etal Hyman says, "Damon, all I see of him is a big ego and hoodwinked by Farrakhan." You know, brothers, I was under that. I was under that haze from Minister Farrakhan. I was under it. And I understand it all too well. And, he even said some things. He was saying about the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad that he thought the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad had killed Malcolm. And I didn't get a chance to respond to that because it was something that needed to be responded to. But in truth, I told you before, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told them to leave Minister Malcolm alone. Minister Farrakhan had missed that. Zach Condor had missed that. Conrad Muhammad had missed it. And also Dr. Khalid Muhammad had missed it. Elijah Muhammad's children had missed that. They admitted the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad had nothing to do with that. But Farrakhan and Wallace Waradeen Muhammad, and the way they spin it, he may admit something. On one occasion, when he was on 60 Minutes with Mike Wallace and Adalys Shabazz, the eldest daughter of Minister Malcolm X, he 1988, I believe it was, he admits this. No, it wasn't 88. It was somewhere later than that, because he had prostate cancer. So it was a later interview than that. It was a much later interview than that, because he was dealing with prostate cancer, in all respect to him. But he said that on that show, right? But then you find him often in the temple, somewhat bragging. Saying that did you teach Minister Malcolm? Was he your traitor or ours? Brothers and sisters, we have to question this kind of behavior. He's never really made a real apology, never made an apology to Sister Betty X. Shabazz, never embraced the children of Minister Malcolm or anything like that. And we have to question these things, brothers and sisters. We have to question this kind of behavior. We have to. We got to question it. I mean, it's just the truth. We have to question it. You know, we have to question Brother Taharka's behavior. You know, is it humor or whatever? Personally, I don't think he meant any harm. Not in the long scope. I think he's trying to do something for a show and channel. I don't think that he means to destroy black people. I wouldn't believe that because he himself is black. So I don't think he means that. You know, but I think he'll do whatever it takes to get him ratings on the show. And I do think there's an agenda. I just don't know who's financing him. I don't know. But I do believe there's an agenda. But I love the brother with all my heart. I love the brother with all my heart. So, Brother Ital Hyman, says, Damon, all I see of him is a big ego and hoodwinked by Farrakhan. Larry Moore says, no, brother, you are always starting. Well, good brother. Okay, I respect that. Brother Larry said, cut it out, Brother Taharka. Brother Bruce Karim says, Mauricelm TV, go have a drink. I agree. Just chill. I mean, here Taharka is. He had me on this show. He did the best he could do, and seemed like he didn't get the results that he wanted, so he can't even leave the brother alone. That tells you how much he loved me, brothers and sisters. I told you he loved the black community. And you know something, brothers and sisters? Right while I'm talking to you right now, and the screen is freezing, and these devils are trying to stop us from having a decent show. Trying to stop us from having, just as they always do, trying to stop us from having a decent show. But I have nothing against Brother Taharka. I love Brother Taharka. I want you to understand that, and I really, really mean that. I really, really mean that. But the brother is treading on dangerous ground, because you're putting your what about the next person who is not thinking logical about the situation? Now, you know, you put yourself in danger. You never know anyone. I don't underestimate anyone. If I say something, I say it, right, because it's truth, and I'll speak on truth. I'll speak on what I believe is right, morally, ethically, and otherwise. I'll do that because I think that's my right. I'll do that, but I have to, no matter what I say, keep in mind that I have a wife and I have a child that I have to keep safe, and the brother has a family, and you don't ever want to put your family in any situation. Never put them in any situation. Speak the truth, ask the right questions. You know, if you're a talk show host or journalist, bring the people on there and let them have the show. You know, we won't forget about you. It's your show. I told him, I respect your show, brother, but if I can get a word in, because I couldn't speak above him and also speak above Brother Damon, right? And Brother Damon had some real concerns, and he himself, I believe, was loyal to his feelings concerning Minister Louis Farrakhan. I do believe that. But, you know, that's life. You know, you're gonna, you know, there are things that we have to accept in this life. We have to accept it. And we have to stand up, stand firm, and be accountable. We have to do that. But we don't want to be reckless amongst our own people, brothers and sisters. We can't do that. And we can't muckrake our own brothers and sisters. We can't run them down or anything like that. When I said that I was ready for anything on the show, I meant that too, because that information is out there. But let's talk about something that's going to help black people. Don't forget to thumbs up, like, and subscribe, brothers and sisters. We certainly need it. We need your subscription to help this show, and we're trying to help. Remember, we have a feeding program. Remember, and you'll see, if you pull it up, you see all the different programs that we have. Each of those community centers or clinics are helping in one way or another, and that's the reason why we reach out to you. We're actually trying to do a work, and we've been catching it. It's been difficult, moving several times. As Allah bear witness, our break lines were cut about 3 to 4 years ago when we were leaving one area to get to another area to be safe. So we need your support. We certainly want to put this truth out so the brothers and sisters could get it and be saved. Right? We're trying to spare and liberate the black community and keep them safe amongst one another. And there's no more safety than amongst one another. So Brother Bruce says, Morris World TV, go have a drink. Brother Martell McCoy says, Morris World TV, at Morris World TV says habitually. Father John said, well represent sis. I agree the sister did a good job expressing herself and not taking it anywhere. He was talking about spiritual, that God will repay. And we have to let God do it when it comes to our people. We have to let God do it. God will protect us. We have to respect that. Now, I'm gonna have a gun too to protect my family against the white man and against any misled black person that tries to hurt my family. My intentions are not to kill them, but my intention is to stop that threat. My intention is to stop that threat because there are black people hired by white people. We already know that. That's what we're talking about in the history here. There are black people hired by white people to kill black people. Isn't that what we're talking about right now? We're talking about that very thing right now. So we have to be careful and cognizant of that. Brother Shabaka says, I respect you and your struggle for true black nationalism. We blacks must separate ourselves from the enemy. Thank you, brother. That's the truth. And Brother Ital Ivan said, we have your back, sister. I'm sure the sister is happy to hear that. And fire burns the mind. That's true. And Brother Shabaka said, organization and unity is the first step to liberation. That's true, brother. And thank you all for that. Why do you, the original man said, why do you run from the interview with Morris World TV when it got hot? I didn't run when it got hot. I answered all the questions. And they began to repeat themselves. And the rest of the stuff on the site, I approved it because I looked at it and it was true. And you know, there are brothers and sisters that have sacrificed because they know what we go through and they've seen us lose so much that they're willing to help us make sites and stuff like that. And I thank them for it. I thank these brothers and sisters for it. Yes, I do. I thank them for help setting up the show and all of that. I thank these brothers and sisters for it, brothers and sisters. So I'm thankful. I'm very thankful. Brother Daryl, we can't leave him out. That's one of Minister Farrakhan's brothers, and he always has something to say. We love this brother Daryl. Come on, you attack Minister Farrakhan and trying to turn black people against him, so stop crying. Brother, you're right. I sat in that hot seat. I'm not trying to turn people against Farrakhan, but I'm trying to prepare people for the damage that Minister Farrakhan has done. But I'll sit in the hot seat for that because I'm still going to talk about Minister Farrakhan and talk about how he's misled black people, right, and have taken us back an additional 50 years on this Justice or Else campaign and the Million Man March that had no focus, had no plan, didn't create any job, didn't teach black people to do for themselves, to create any job, while he at the same time is getting government contracts. Brother Daryl, you know I've sent that to you. Brothers and sisters, if you look in the comment where this brother has interjected, you'll see where I've provided him proof for one thing that he said, and that's the money. That's not the only one. You can look up to see that the Nation of Islam received governmental funds from the Department of Corrections in order to rehabilitate prisoners. And there's no distinction to rehabilitate white prisoners as well as black prisoners. And it's in 1985 and 86 on the Phil Donahue show and another syndicated show as well, where Minister Farrakhan said that one day white people will be allowed to come in the Nation of Islam. That's not the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Muhammad said that no white man shall be saved. In the Book of Supreme Wisdom, he said no white man shall be saved. So there will be a remnant, and then after that there'll be none. I read to you in the 14th book of Isaiah and the 14th verse how God said, this is in the white man's own Bible, something that he didn't even get out, right? He couldn't even take it out. That God said that the devil, right, who is a man, right? That's the Old Testament. It said, is this the man that did cause the world to tremble? So we know that God also says that the white man will be destroyed. And so Original Ivan said, you don't like Farrakhan because you are with silence. I don't hate Minister Farrakhan. I challenge his actions in the death of two black leaders who lost their families, whose children were turned out, and whose children were turned out. I don't respect that. I don't respect it. I saw the way that Dr. Khalid was treated. I saw that. No, I don't respect it. Mosque number 28 in St. Louis in not Mississippi. That's true, brother. But that's a mosque under Farrakhan. It's not Elijah's mosque. It's not Elijah's mosque, brother. It's not Elijah's mosque. Bruce Kareem said the FOI attempted to threaten Zach Kondo in 1993 at a farm. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth. You talking about D.C. or Atlanta, brother? Because there were two places where this was openly happened. Where this openly happened. They had all the women leave the auditorium. Then, that's right, did nothing. They never phased Baba Zak, FOI clown show. It was because I don't understand. I really, really don't understand. This brother was getting down to the truth. I mean, if we have to be right and exact, the brother's getting down to the truth. He didn't quarrel with what he found. He's putting it out. He's only putting out the facts. But yes, they did. And that's a shame because this is my point. Black people can't excuse me. Black people, brothers and sisters. Thank you, sister. Thank you very much. Black people can't attack black people. We've got to be better than that. We've got to be better than that, brothers and sisters. What do we look like attacking each other when we're being killed by the white man? What do we look like killing one another when we're being attacked by the white man? Running each other down when we're being attacked by the white man. Brothers and sisters, this makes no sense. We're like animals in a cage. And this is the spirit that the white man created. He would have black brothers and sisters in slavery to beat each other down. Literally beat each other down for his own enjoyment. Brothers and sisters, we can't have that. We have to discuss these things so that we won't continue to make the same mistakes. So we won't continue to make the same mistakes. Brother Larry Moore said, brothers, sometimes you got to shut big mouth people up. I agree, brother. And you know something, brother? There are many ways to do that. You can't add fuel to the fire. I tell them, you can find it. You have your agenda. They have their agenda. That wasn't my agenda. That was their agenda. When I come on this show, I don't come on as a psychiatric clinician. I don't do it. And besides, I don't think any devil, especially not me, who's putting fire on the white man's behind every time I turn around, I don't think he's going to have mercy on me, be gracious enough with me to give me any exception to the rule. I don't think he is. But, you know, this is why what the brothers say don't make any sense. Now, you see the information down there. You have to go inside the state building. You got to upload your degrees. You got to upload your certificate. You got to upload your license. You got to do it. Ain't no way around it. Ain't no way around it. But these brothers wanted something so bad until they leaned on it. Then when they couldn't get anything from that, they went on to some old shallow stuff and then tried to distort that. He wouldn't even read it. He was so anxious to find something that he couldn't even read. And Brother Tahaka was anxious to help him. And he himself couldn't even weather through his own hurricane that he set up. His own hurricane, he couldn't even weather through it. And so, but I love the brother. And if he'll be honest, I tried to reach out to him and tell him, brother, I love you. I don't have anything against you. I don't have anything against you. And I don't. And I pasted on his site some information. And I even shared, if you go on my Facebook, I even shared what he had up tonight. Yeah, I shared it because I think it's humorous. That's what I think it is. I don't take the show seriously. You can't take it seriously. I don't take it seriously, but I think that God still used the show. He uses the show. And God, in time, we'll see how God will use that show. Brother Shabbat said, Elijah Muhammad was making great strides before he departed. Separation and do for self without apology. And that's the truth. And we don't have any more of that teaching from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Minister Malcolm failed Mr. Muhammad. He failed him by not being patient and listening to Mr. Muhammad. I'm mature enough to say that Minister Malcolm failed Mr. Muhammad. But when Mr. Muhammad had a talk with Malcolm, he told him to put out the fires that you started, and you can come back in the nation. What would it look like for Mr. Muhammad to destroy one of the 12 most powerful Muslims that he had in the nation that he pumped education into? It doesn't make any sense. That's why in the book, Who Killed Minister Malcolm X, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, I go deep into the knowledge of it. I go very, very deep into the knowledge, and with proof that I got from the Freedom of Information Act. Original said, at a time and study what the minister did in his lifetime, then match it then, and only then can we talk. Okay, so original man, do we concentrate on how from Minister Malcolm, from the time that the Minister Farrakhan came into the nation, how he was in the middle of conflict, how he said such a man as Malcolm is worthy of death in an article he wrote called Hypocrite, how he put the lives of Minister Malcolm's wife and his children in danger? Is that what we should talk about? Or maybe we should talk about how Minister Farrakhan, after Dr. Khalid is shot by James Best, a man that Minister Farrakhan said was one of his friends, shot Minister James Best. This same James Best was a Farrakhan fanatic when he was in the nation in 1959 through the time that Minister Farrakhan denounced him. Right? I mean, what do we do? A lone killer who killed Minister Khalid, who was certainly complicit in the death of Minister Malcolm X, who did no fair time. What do we do? Do we give Farrakhan a pass? Do we give Farrakhan a pass on all of this? He's not beyond reproach, brothers and sisters. He's not beyond reproach. He's eating with the Jews, eating with swine, eating with swine. Do we give him a pass? The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the white man is the devil. Farrakhan, when he put Minister Khalid out of the nation, in a speech at King College where he was defending Minister Farrakhan, he called in the same year, called Father Flager his friend. Do we give him a pass? This is not teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Do we give him a pass for teaching Dianetics, which comes from another devil called L. Ron Hubbard? Do we give him a pass? That anytime somebody has contention with them, these people are threatened by Muslims under Minister Farrakhan. Do we give them a pass? We saw Brother Conrad Muhammad, one of the most popular brothers in New York and D.C. at that time, the hip-hop minister. They knew him all around the country. All around the country. He's up at one point, then when he started speaking too much truth and got too powerful, and he embraced Dr. Khalid Muhammad because he never mistreated Dr. Khalid. Brother Conrad never mistreated him. Next thing we knew, right? Next thing we knew, Conrad is out of the nation. He moved down from his post. I mean, they talk about these things and they have no knowledge. These are enthusiasts that have no knowledge of Minister Farrakhan and what I'm talking about. No knowledge. But Minister Farrakhan gets a pass. Even though the information is out there, I experienced the stuff with Dr. Khalid. I experienced it. The information is out there. But he gets no pass. Do I have questions about Malik Zulu Shabazz? Yes. Yes. Malik Zulu Shabazz did leave Dr. Khalid in his own sputum, his own vomit, when Dr. Khalid had been poisoned. They didn't call the ambulance for 8 to 10 hours. Yes, I have questions about that. I've cried about that for years when I couldn't understand it. I have questions. Do I have questions about Hashim Mzinga, who helped Malik Zulu Shabazz? Yes, I do. I have questions. Do I have questions about Michael Muhammad, who also helped in this death and poisoning of Dr. Khalid? I have questions. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Have I voiced it? I voiced it. I voiced Jesse Jackson, Miss Coretta King. Miss Coretta King, her own self, allowed us to research the death of Dr. King. Steve Coakley was leading that investigation, which won them the suit against the federal government in 1999 when the government admitted that they had killed Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Key players in that was Jesse Jackson. Key players, Billy Cowles. Yeah, of course I have questions. I have questions. Yes, I do. Because I know if we don't get together, brothers and sisters, we'll be annihilated off this planet from ignorant black people who are willing to kill and destroy black people, as well as foolish, racist, dirty, stinking white people. Crackers that are organizing to kill us too, and they're killing us. They are killing us. That's my concern, brothers and sisters. That's my concern. And it just amazes me how brothers and sisters are still being foolish, not concentrating on what's actually going on. They're still being foolish. We don't have the luxury nor the time for that, brothers and sisters. We don't have the luxury nor the time. Brother Larry Moore said sometimes you gotta understand the mentality of a gangster or false gangster. That's basically what Farrakhan was showing. I agree. I agree. I have to agree. Brother Atal Iman says, we're going to read these, brothers. We're going to read these because Tracy Burns is on here. She's still talking about I'm jealous of Farrakhan. We're going to read it. I'm going to read all the comments in here because I think it's very good and it's good attention taking and all of that. Atal Iman, original man, you don't know Farrakhan like I do. It's possible that original, they really don't know, brother, and that's why we can't hold it to their charge because they don't know. They don't know. We can't hold it to their charge because they really don't know. And I love these brothers and sisters. That's why we have to teach on the show, and it may take some time, but we'll win them. I used to be ignorant. I used to be under the haze, even while I was finding the stuff out. I was under the haze, brothers and sisters. I was in the heavy rain. But once you look at the truth, it's almost like the sun coming through the window. You may squint at first. When you're waking up, you may squint. But eventually you open your eyes and you can adjust to it. And that means the light, which is the knowledge, has come inside of you. So Brother Larry Moore said, talking ain't trying to hurt you. He really think he's doing something for black folks. That's the truth. That is the truth. Brother, original man said, Brother Iman, please do tell how you know minister so well. If you knew the minister so well, you would not have said what you said about being hoodwinked by the minister. The minister never lied. You hear this? Here the minister is a human being, right? Right? And the scripture tells us if any man said he hasn't lied, that the truth is not in him, right? Even Jesus said there's none perfect but the Father. This is what I'm saying. It's a white man's duty to put before us his Messiah. And his Messiah, like white people, his Messiah have black Muslims marrying white women who calling themselves black with the same teaching of Jane Elliott. Original man said, now prove it. Tracy Burns said, you're jealous. I'm jealous of Minister Farrakhan. Brother Ataman said, original man, you haven't earned the right to know what I know. Tracy Burns said, I'm a hater. What have I done? Look it up, sister. I've done what I can in the amount of years that I have. I don't think I've done pretty bad. I'm still trying to work now. She says that I'm an agent. Well, if I'm an agent, then the white man is hating me. As a matter of fact, if I'm an agent, the white man ain't paying me nothing. Right? Because I'm putting fire on his behind. Everything I say is a white man's fault because I know it's his fault. It was him that put us in slavery and put us on all of this trouble. So if I'm an agent, he ain't making no money on me, sister. Original Iman said to Brother Edelman, so you would turn hypocrite on the minister. Sister Tracy said his actions are honorable. Original man at Iman, you think much of yourself, brother. Sister Tracy said Elijah is with Farrakhan. Sister, that remains to be seen. Farrakhan is not with Elijah. Elijah may be a Farrakhan, but Farrakhan is not with Elijah. Because he's teaching Dianetics. He's teaching all this, the white people's foolishness, right? Spookiness. Teaching Dianetics with the nation. Nation teaching. You can't mix some things together, brothers and sisters. Apples and oranges don't go together. So see, they defend it, and they try to distract, so you won't hear what I'm saying. You know, and so that's the job. Everybody have to become just that. Everybody have to become just that. See what I'm saying? That's their job. It's called distraction. Brother Iman said, Wallace Muhammad in his book spoke of Dr. Farad saying NOI had 60 symbolic years. The time was up in 1990. See, as the light shining from the east, so Farrakhan is obsolete. And that's the truth. That's the truth. That's in the organized teaching. That's in the organized teaching. So I appreciate, brothers and sisters, I really do. I appreciate the attention they're giving to this. Corey J says killed Khalid and Malcolm. He did. All of the knowledge leads to just that. And he said it out of his own mouth. Out of his own mouth, brother. I mean, they said he was in New Jersey at the temple in Newark when he should have been at temple number 11 in Boston. He admitted this. The FBI, CIA brought the paperwork up of one of their own. This is what they do. They will damage and dump one of their own. They'll always do it. They will always do it. Always. Farrakhan has never been in any real danger. Right? And they do these things when they feel like he's getting too strong, they'll do stuff like this to calm him down. To calm him down. Because they know if he really wake up and say, hey, everybody get guns, they know what they're done for. And their money won't be well spent. Original man says, you think too much of yourself? No, we read that before. Shabaka says, brother, MX, love your revolutionary zeal and fervor. Appreciate you, brother. Continue to inform and educate. Speak your truth. Sister Tracy Byrne, thank you, brother. Sister Tracy Byrne said, let your work speak for itself. Original man said he's not educating anybody. Original man said he's telling lies. What lies have I told, brother? They ain't told none, but this is distortion, and this is what they do. This is what they do. Original man, you're not being honest, Mauricelm, right? Tracy Burns, liar, Shabaka. Sometimes we have to listen and still cannot hear. Original man said that's not what happened on Moore's World TV. Tracy Burns said obsessed with Farrakhan. So what does that mean? And of course, because he's innocent. Original man said James Best shooting had nothing to do with Farrakhan. Boy, I tell you, these brothers and sisters really don't know. They really don't know which way is up. And that's okay, because I used to be under the haze, and I love these brothers and sisters. And that's why you don't see me erase any comment. I have nothing to hide. I don't have control issues. I have nothing to hide. And so, it had everything to do with a woman. That's the lie that was told. But that's not the truth. Tracy Burns, he said a black man can be a devil too. Tracy Burns, yes, an original man. Corey J teaches, I got out of the NOI. This brother got out. Another one that had gotten out. Brother, we got room over there with Silas Muhammad, brother. You want some real Elijah teaching, we got room. Wherever you are, we got room. There's room. There's room, brother. Originals and Farrakhan does not teach Dianetics. You're lying again. This brother don't even know that Farrakhan teaches Dianetics from L. Ron Hubbard. That have Muslims to audit themselves. The brother don't even know. Do y'all hear this, brothers and sisters? That this brother really don't know. That's what I'm telling you. They won't study. They won't research. They won't do it. There's a place Look, you go on Facebook, type in Dianetically Speaking. So all you have to do is type it in, Dianetically Speaking, or type in Dianetics, or go on the web and type in Dianetics, and you'll see. I remember when he had Muslims audited themselves in Dianetics. I remember when his son, Joshua Muhammad, had married that white woman, and there was other Muslims entertaining white women too. I remember that, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you what I saw. And I questioned Dr. Khalid about it, and got locked at attention for about 4 hours. I remember that. Dr. Khalid loved Minister Farrakhan, brothers and sisters. His allegiance was to Minister Farrakhan. But on the end, if you go to the Freedom Papers, this was a recording audio that we did. This is way back, just like the picture I took with Dr. Khalid that I gave it to Mauricelm TV. I gave it to Taraka Bey. I gave it to him. That picture was taken in the 80s. No, I take it back. That picture was taken in the 90s. That picture was taken with a Kodak camera. Black Nationalist Network Press. And I gave that picture to him. We were marching in Texas. He was swear up and down he didn't get it. Swear up and down he didn't get it. You know, research, if you have a leader, I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. You have to research them. None are beyond reproach, brothers and sisters. None. Me and nobody else are beyond reproach. We can't be. Because by you telling us where we wronged you, we have a chance to apologize and we have a chance to unite. We have a chance to come together and unite, brothers and sisters. If you tell me I've done something and I've literally done something wrong, I'm going to apologize to you before the whole world. That's the opportunity that I have. That's the opportunity that I have. We have an opportunity to unite and become spiritual. They're killing us. They are literally killing us, brothers and sisters. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. There's no teaching going on, just gossiping. Original Hyman said, where are your pictures and with Khalid since you was with them? Tracy Burns said, Khalid loved the minister. She did. He did love the minister. You are jealous. They say I'm jealous. Tracy Burns, if you have a problem with Farrakhan, you have a problem with Elijah. That's not true, sister. Farrakhan's not with Elijah. I have a problem with Farrakhan because he's not with Elijah. But I love Minister Farrakhan. I don't have, but I have every right. I have a brother that is on drugs. I would trust him to walk my family from the front door to the back, brothers and sisters. But I love my brother. I love him. And open rebuke is better than secret love, brother. That's the word. That's the word. Shabaka said, Brother Shabaka said, all in the same bag and the same boat, we must sing the same song. That's true. Brother Ivan and Tracy, facts. Brother Karim says, in 1997, the African Poetry Theater in Queens, New York, Dr. Millere stood post. That's true, brother. That is the truth. Stood post for Khalid and with Minister Craig and others. That is the truth, brother. That is the truth. The VHS tapes that were done then, we had to set up to put and record. That is a fact. That is the truth, brother. And I appreciate you for bringing that out. I appreciate it. Original Man said, put the tapes out. Shabaka said, without unity and organization, we are twice defeated. Brother Down said, I think you could use a Dianetic auditing session to help you out. You hear that? So Brother Darrell has already told you that the minister used Dianetic. He knows. And I respect Brother Darrell with what he says, and I love him. He'll say truth, and I've answered him back. I haven't been disrespectful to him in answering him. I haven't been disrespectful to him in answering him. He'll say stuff. I don't remove his comments. I never block him from the page because I believe that he should have a right to say it. I'll never move anybody. But I'm going to give a response. But and brother, I don't want nothing no white devil has. Whatever the white devil has, I don't want it. Jason Burns said, Master Fard Muhammad gave actual fact. You obviously don't know your lesson. I don't know what she's talking about. She's all off now. Cryptonomics, Maurice, you ran off Mauricelm-Lei TV last night, not being transparent. Brother, if that's the way you feel, I'll accept that. If that's the way you feel, I'll accept that. I won't challenge it. Tracy Bryan said, I've been with Farrakhan since 85, Madison Square Garden. The sister, you've been blind. You must be blind. King Kalonji, Negus Nagas. A lot of the NOI members are Farrakhan followers, not Allah followers. Brothers, that's the truth. Cryptonomics said Cryptonomics says Farrakhan don't teach Dianetics. He actually endorsed it. Big difference. Well, see, at least Cryptonomics had the guts to tell to tell the truth. Well, yeah, he teaches it too, though. You don't just endorse it, he teaches it. Brother Darrell said the minister don't teach Dianetics. Yes, he has. The minister has taught Dianetics. Cryptonomics says fake. Thank you, Cryptonomics. Cryptonomics said fake pick. Thank you, Cryptonomics. So at least you admitted that they got the pick. Original man said, Maurice, you ran last night. That's the way they felt. You go back and look at the show. You'll see that I didn't run. I was happy when I got off. I wasn't upset. Because all of it was comedy to me, brothers and sisters. All of it was comedy. But I can't go through all of these because they're going to keep on coming. And to distort the show, brothers and sisters, I want to concentrate on you and tell you that in the time that we're in, we've got to unite. We have to unite. We have to come together. We've got to speak difficult truths. And we have to come together as black people. As black people, we're all being killed. When they're killing us, they're not going to ask us, well, hey, do you follow Farrakhan? You follow Farrakhan? Wait a minute. If you follow Farrakhan, stand over here. Brothers and sisters, they ain't going to ask you that. They're going to kill you. They're going to take out their gun and do everything else, and they're going to kill you. They're not asking you whether you following Farrakhan or not, or whether I believe Elijah or not. They're going to raise their weapons and kill you. That's what they're going to do, brothers and sisters. Dr. Khalid, January, this is the second part of the assassination. Mr. Farrakhan didn't visit him from 1994 to, there was a short period when he did. Dr. Khalid came into the nation, but he didn't allow him to keep his post. But in 1994, after the shooting, he didn't visit him in 1994 all the way to 2001. I remember this very well because Dr. Khalid was passing through the airport. The minister came to meet him. When they passed each other in the airport, they talked a little bit and whatnot, and just sort of chopped some things up. And Brother Khalid, still loyal and still loving to Minister Farrakhan, was very happy. Was very, very happy. He talked about it often. Some other stuff happened. In January the 18th, 2001, there was a paper written. This is when the government is really moving. The government is really moving. This is before Farrakhan had met him. Farrakhan met him 3 weeks before he died in the airport. The government is moving. Strange coincidence. Very strange coincidence. The government is moving because Dr. Khalid, they asked him a question, who would become his heir apparent? Dr. Khalid said, he said any one of them are able to become an heir apparent. He wouldn't tell him who would become the heir apparent. He wouldn't let him know. He never told him that. So in this paper, the Washington City paper, you can pull this up. Washington City paper was written by Mark Francis Cohen. Mark Francis Cohen, a white Jew, right, wrote this paper when Dr. Khalid was speaking. This is in D.C. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. This is in D.C. and he was supposed to be speaking. Well, the journalist went over to Dr. Khalid, asked him about an heir apparent. Then they started writing this story up about Malik Zulu Shabazz. And Brother Steve and I thought it was strange. We talked about it often. Same way when Dr. Khalid was in Detroit. He trusted another Malik Shabazz. There's a Malik Shabazz in Detroit. And then you have Paris Lewis, who is a Malik Shabazz. He say he lives in D.C. And I'm going to leave that right there because I would never put the brother's information out or put him in danger. But he said he lives in D.C. Now, with that being said, they write this big story up about Malik. Now, here's some white folks writing a story up about one of Dr. Khaled's supposedly closest supporters and advocates. They start talking about his height and his build. I'll tell you some feminine stuff, man. You know, these white journalists, you know how they'll do. When they get around black men, they just can't be still. A lot of them are just flashy and switchy. You know it. And he write up this story about Malik Zulu Shabazz. It's crazy. It's crazy. And we see the story. The Washington City paper, January the 18th, 2001. All you got to do is go and find it. The journalist is Mark Francis Cohen. Wrote the story. And Dr. Khalid was going to speak that day. He said, I'm not even going to speak. He was so pissed off knowing what was happening. Malik was acting funny. Malik Shabazz was acting real funny. Don't forget to like, subscribe, thumbs up, brothers and sisters, please. We can use all the help we can get. And hit the bell so you know what's coming tomorrow. And so, to make a long story short, Dr. Khalid wasn't going to speak. So he didn't. He asked one of them to speak. He said a few words, but he asked one of them to speak. He talked a little bit, but one of them was supposed to speak. So you had Malik Zulu Shabazz around, Michael Muhammad around, Hashim Nzinga. When Dr. Khalid put out his last speech, No More Negro Stuff, I believe, me and Steve Coakley disagree. I believe that they started poisoning Dr. Khalid from the time that he was supposed to have been at Malik Zulu Shabazz's house before they made the trip to New York, then came back to Shabazz's house with it happening again, and then leaving because they at that point they got to a place where they tried to give him a plate. That's the truth. They admitted to try to give him a plate. Dr. Khalid, he didn't see who fixed it, so he threw it in the garbage. That's what he taught us as FOI that if he didn't see the hands that prepared it, then he would put it in the garbage. So he put it in the garbage. And they got in the car, right? Dr. Khalid did a random stop so he could get that food, so that food wasn't poisoned. But if you look at the speech No More Negro Stuff, when I studied it, even back then, I said Dr. Khalid seemed real sort of tired and droopy. If you look at it, he's speaking, but it looks tired, worn out. And I believe that the poisoning started happening prior to him coming down to Marietta, Georgia. Them going to the hotel. This sister, her name is, last name is Ambush. Last name is Ambush. Goodness. I can't remember her first name, Nefertiri. We didn't really know her. She came out of T.D. Jakes' church. But it was Khaled's new wife. It was his new wife. We didn't even know her. I'm going to have some more water, brothers and sisters. Excuse me. So, she came T.D. Jakes' church. Dr. Khaled's new wife was using the name Nefertiri. But her name meant pick to ambush. When you translate her name, pick to kill. When you translate her name. Now, Hashim Nzinga, Malik Zulu Shabazz, Nefertiri, real name is Ambush. I'm trying to remember our first name, brothers and sisters. If you can remember it, please put it in the comments section. Also, making the trip, strangely enough, there's a lot of talk about Farrah Gray, who was Lil Farrakhan. Dr. Khalid named him after Farrakhan. There was a lot of funny moves being made just all around. A lot of funny moves being made. I'm not going to bring up Dr. Khaled's contractual wife. I'm not going to bring her name up because that'd be disrespecting him. But I'll bring out his son, because that's something that's noted. That there's all of these strange, funny moves, and then he changes his name. I mean, it was amazing. It was the whole play, and then the whole thing was really amazing. Dr. Khalid, he's meanwhile is eating a meal that's brought to him by his Zinger and also his new wife. He begins to be poisoned, brothers and sisters, at the strongest sense. Then she begins to be poisoned, and once he's poisoned, the sister didn't get poisoned, but he was poisoned. He throws up, right? He runs to the toilet, right, to release it. He throws up again because they're having sex again. Pardon the expression. Excuse me for explaining it this way, but they got personal, and he threw up again. And that time they left him on the floor in his own sputum. They waited 8 to 10 hours before they called the ambulance. Now, they didn't have to call the ambulance because Khalid didn't trust them anyway. But there were brothers and sisters that were on the scene. There were doctors, there were nurses, that there was healthcare people that Khalid trusted to help him. That's right, her name was Kiana. Kiana Ambush. Thank you, Brother Bruce. Kiana Ambush name means pick to kill when you translate it. Because it wasn't even a real, the name I was written wasn't even a real name. And Steve talked about it, but I thought it'd be something to put out because this is something that he had noted. Now, Dr. Khalid was dead. After that, you saw Malik Zulu Shabazz hanging around Minister Farrakhan a whole lot. He was hanging, and here the same Malik Shabazz that was at odds with Minister Farrakhan when he was running for government. He spoke harshly and bitterly against him because I even said something about it. Dr. Khalid quieted me down at that point. That he said he was being disrespectful. At that point, and Dr. Khalid quieted me down. He locked me up and told me not to say anything else. And I didn't. He right flanked me, and I didn't say anything else. Now, but there was things that I started to see when he first started talking against Farrakhan when Dr. Khalid was alive. You know, and then when Dr. Khalid died, he just all around Farrakhan. He was all around Farrakhan. Our brother Bruce says this. He said, Khalid told Kiana, don't tell them my name when he first vomited. That's true, brother. That's true. Because any FOI member in the Nation of Islam would not put personal information out. Now, you can understand why I wouldn't validate because they could pull it up. But their idea wasn't to pull it up. Their idea was to showcase for the show, and which it would put him in danger. That would have put Dr. Khalid's life in danger. Me submitting to information or pushing something out would have put my life in danger. Would have put my family's life in danger, and we're already in danger. You see, but we're taught not to validate anything. That's what we're taught. That's what we're taught. And see, brothers, that's why I have questions. You know, I always have questions. When we're standing out for each other as people, and we're working against one another, we don't get anywhere. We won't get anywhere when we're doing that. We've got to learn how to come together and how to stand up for one another. We've got to learn how to stand together, brothers and sisters. That's the main thing. If you don't hear anything else I say, regardless of what any brother and sister have done or wronged you or whatever, find some way where you train yourself to be at peace, that people have a right to their opinions or what they have to say or whatever. They have a right to it. They have a right to it. And you give that to God. Even if you speak it, give it to God. But we shouldn't go around attacking brothers and sisters. We shouldn't go around attacking it. Another thing I didn't like, there's a lot of stuff. If you go back Look at Minister Farrakhan when Dr. Khalid spoke. No more Negro stuff. Was the most powerful speech I ever heard him give. It wasn't that long, but it was sweet. It was powerful. When they were at odds, you saw the minister said that Dr. Khalid had issues. He had been raped. You know, he had feminine ways. And lots of times people have to seem tough in order to hide their feminine ways. I mean, brothers and sisters, this is not right. It's disrespectful. It's misleading. It's misleading. It's misleading. And here's a brother that would die for the black community. Have trained us to be able to die for the black community, fighting that white man. Fighting the white man. But it's a rough job when you got to fight black people who are invested in ignorance. Who are invested, complicit in ignorance. Niggas. Right? The sister call them niggas. Sister call them niggas. But black people, brothers and sisters, who are invested in ignorance and can't see the forest for the trees. Too close to love brothers and sisters as they are from where they are, and to embrace them and to unite, because we are being killed, brothers and sisters. And when we have those of us that are killing one another, we have to talk about it. If I saw you in danger from a brother or sister, shame on me if I allowed you to go that way. Shame on me if I didn't try to talk to that brother or sister to change their mind, to change their course, which is reckless. Shame on me for that, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, that's what I wanted to say tonight. I appreciate the participation. Please, brothers and sisters, join us tomorrow, please. I enjoy you. I'm thankful that you were not deviated, that you allowed yourself to come on. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that you decided to come on. I appreciate that. You didn't allow yourself to be turned. I appreciate that you didn't allow yourself to be turned. I want to read these last few comments, and then I'm going to salute off to you. After these last comments, we didn't even have a theme music because we didn't have time. We had to get right into it. You know how it is. We had to get right into it, brothers and sisters. We was on a mission today. We was on a mission, and I'm thankful that God has allowed other people to know about the show and to see what I'm speaking, and they can look and see that I'm trying to speak the truth and do the best that I can. And I welcome all naysayers. I welcome that because I know that God has a purpose for you too. Don't you know God had a purpose for Judas? God had a purpose for Judas, brothers and sisters. God had a purpose for everybody in the world. God has a purpose for them. And I'm thankful to God that his purpose is being fulfilled. I'm thankful to God that through the design that the world created, God will use that design to still bring salvation unto his people. So I'm so very thankful, brothers and sisters, for this. And I praise God for the opportunity to come before you. And I want to read those comments, the last few comments from the people that are supportive of the show, because I believe that God is doing a new thing. I believe that God is doing a new thing for us, and he's bringing us together. God is bringing us together. Brother Nagai said we're all one family. We just have to learn to properly reason with one another. Peace and love. That's true. And the word tells us to reason with one another. The word tells us to reason with one another. And so, Brother King Kalanji, that Moore's World TV reasoning was funny. You my brother, but they had you on the hot seat. And I wanted to hear y'all reasoning on Farrakhan. Brother, they didn't want that. They didn't want us to talk about nothing because they thought they had something. And didn't even know what an NPI was. A lot of people don't know. But there's nobody that can have an NPI that white folks is just going to give it to. You have to load up your information. You have to put your information in there, physically carry it in to put it in there. Physically carry it in. So, but if they wanted the truth was right in front of them, but they didn't even want it. So why would I validate it? Nothing. If a person is out to hear bad, nothing you put in front of them, nothing you put in front of them is going to show them any different. They already have an agenda and a motive for what they wanted to hear. So I enjoyed the show. It was funny. You saw me laughing and enjoying myself. You saw them get frustrated because it was funny to me, and I'm thankful that they directed people toward my show. I sent him a text, and I told him, I said, I appreciate you because you got people asking about book sales, and I need to sell these books so I can take care of me and my family. We are selling candy bars too to support what we're trying to do so that we don't have the program that we have dying. And you can check, and you'll be certain to go to any of those places where you see the stop at, and we're working the program in those areas. Brother Bruce said, Khalid told Kiana, don't tell them my name when he first vomited. That's the truth. Dr. Khalid went into the hospital as Harold Ambush. That's the truth. Bruce Karim said, great job, salute. Thank you, brother, and I appreciate your support and help, brother and sister. I'm thankful. I'm thankful. I appreciate you all. I'm emotional. Thank you all for hearing my sister, my wife, the Sister Joanna Hicks. Thank you all for putting your arm around her. We love you so very much. We love all of you so very much. And I say, peace be unto you. I type that in, brothers and sisters. And peace be unto us all. So that we could stand together one day, brothers and sisters. And we're going to come out of this because God has already showed me that we're going to come out victorious. God has already showed me that. So I love you. I love you very much. And whether you hate me, I love you. If you hate me, don't die. You'll have the answer for it. I have the answer for it if you hate me. Brothers and sisters, we should love one another. As God has loved us, we ought also to love one another, brothers and sisters. And I love you with all my heart. And nothing can change it. I love Taharka, Brother Taharka Bay. I love Brother Cryptonomics and all of them with all my heart. Nothing can change that. I love you all. I love you all. I salute you with the love of peace, and I teach you continuously in the love and restraint of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and also have mercy and peace to restore those that were lost. So we say these things. Peace be unto you. Peace and Tom. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters.